This is Module 4 for AEP 855, Educational Leadership. When sitting down and talking with my principal about the KESA framework, we began with relationships, and we felt through our discussions that we were at the transitioning phase. Our staff, we have a staff that's dedicated, and we have almost an entirely brand new staff to the building, and the mentality has shifted from I can't, I won't do this, from how do we solve the problem. There are many opportunities for observation within the building. All of us have an Observe Me poster outside of our classroom, and there are many opportunities to go and see what others are doing in their classrooms. Students, just this year, one of the new things that we implemented were student ambassadors. Families, we have multiple family engagement nights. However, we felt that there was a need to focus on engaging families around the standards and curriculum. Community, we have multiple school nights at local restaurants in the community. However, I feel like we need to establish a more consistent partnership with local organizations. In regards to relevance, we're at the implementing stage. Curriculum, we review our data weekly during our professional learning community meetings. Instruction, we are moving as a school towards standards-based assessment. Eventually our district will move towards that, but as a school we're focusing on that before our district does. Student engagement, we're using standard-based formal and informal assessments to help guide our instruction. We're using project-based learning opportunities and Genius Hour opportunities to allow students to research and dive more into areas that they are passionate about. Technology, we have one-to-one iPads. However, I feel like we need more professional development around technology implementation within the classroom. In regards to responsive culture, we're transitioning. Leadership, our principal has helped create a positive school culture. Our staff is collaborative and innovative. The principal will communicate the school plan at our weekly staff meetings. Are we on track to what our school plan is? She always updates us on that, as well as our principal, as well as the assistant principal, innovative specialist, and instructional coach. They all attend our PLC meetings. Early childhood, we collaborate in grade level teams as well as vertical teams to make sure our students are on track on the continuum. Our district climate surveys are sent out to families around culture of the school and district, and there are opportunities for town hall meetings around certain topics, such as the search for a new superintendent, which we're doing now. In regards to rigor, we are at the implementing phase. The district at higher levels have opportunities for technical practice, but not so much at the elementary level. Professional learning, we have weekly meetings and opportunities for professional learning at those weekly staff meetings. However, we need more professional learning around the PLC model. Resources, we have a lot of makerspace resources we got this year, as well as new flexible learning spaces. My principal is someone that I admire. I've actually followed her to a couple different schools, and her leadership style is something that I really look up to. She has the democratic leadership style, so she shares power and she allows teachers to help make decisions, but she is ultimately the person that makes that final decision. So I always feel like I have a voice, and I can talk to her just about anything, and she will listen. She shares hope in the mission and vision that we created as a staff, and she really shows that through her daily, just how she does through her daily interactions with staff and with students, with families. She respects the diversity of the staff, and she embraces the individual characteristics and strengths of each educator, and she encourages us to use our strengths to help solve problems that we might have and work together to help solve those problems. When talking with my principal, one of the areas that we felt like we needed to work on was relationships with families and communities. So myself, if I were a building principal, I would focus on planning events that were convenient for our working families. We're at a Title I school, and so many of the families cannot attend events that we have planned because of the time. I would also allow for multiple monthly opportunities for families to come to the school to talk with myself as the principal or other district leaders. I feel like if I would have a chance for monthly opportunities, if a family needed to come up to speak with me, that would be a great platform to do that. I also feel like in order to foster a good relationship within the community, I would go to school planned events within the community as well as just local events, just festivals or different things that are going on within the community. Professional learning was also another area we needed to focus on in order to we want to be a model school for professional learning communities, and in order to do this, we need to have more professional development around that. So as a building principal, what I would do is I would allow my staff to observe other grade level PLC meetings within our building and then with other schools, and then we could talk about what's going well and what we need to improve upon. I would also allow my staff to go to conferences around the PLC models, and then those staff members that attended the meeting would be leaders, and they would be the people that would present to the staff about what they learned at those PLC conferences. These are just the references that I used to cite throughout my presentation. Thank you.